imagine waking up to news like this, like, a devastating earthquake, but it's like halfway across the world in a place you might not know a lot about.
Yeah.
That's kind of the situation we're diving into today,
Yeah.
exploring this recent earthquake in Tibet.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be using some reporting from CBS News for this one.
Right. Yeah. And Tibet itself, it's, this place that I think captures the imagination.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
With these towering mountains and ancient monasteries, often called the roof of the world. It sits high on the Tibetan plateau.
Right.
And we're talking about a plateau so vast, it averages over 14,000 feet above sea level.
Wow.
Yeah, that's higher than most mountain peaks in North America.
I had no idea. Yeah, that puts it in perspective.
Yeah.
So this earthquake.
Yeah.
Over 100 people confirmed dead. And that number is likely to rise, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is. And I think the challenges are compounded by the fact that we're relying primarily on information coming from China's state-controlled media.
Right.
And this means that the government has a very tight grip on what information gets out.
That makes it tricky, right?
Yeah.
Because we absolutely need information to understand what's happening.
Yeah.
But we also have to be aware of potential biases or attempts to kind of control the narrative.
Absolutely.
So it's a tough...
Yeah, it's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
One thing that really struck me in the CBS report was the story of a Tibetan monk.
Oh, wow.
Who described the earthquake as feeling like the mountains themselves were crumbling.
Oh, wow.
And, it just speaks to that deep connection that Tibetan people have with their land, a land that is both sacred and incredibly vulnerable.
Reading these accounts from survivors, in the CBS report, I can't help but wonder about the immediate priorities in a situation like this.
Right.
What are the first things responders are focusing on?
Well, it's a race against time.
Yeah.
Initially, the focus has to be on search and rescue.
Right.
Locating survivors trapped beneath the rubble, which is a mammoth task, considering the remoteness of some of these communities, nestled high in the Himalayas.
Yeah.
We're talking about villages accessible only by narrow, winding roads that may now be blocked by landslides.
It makes you realize just how vital helicopters and other forms of air transport become in these situations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then once that immediate crisis subsides, you shift to providing medical care.
Well, of course.
Shelter, food, and clean water to those who've lost everything.
Yeah.
Logistically, it's a nightmare.
Right.
How do you get supplies into these isolated communities when the infrastructure is damaged or non-existent?
It's easy to feel overwhelmed just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember what you said, the human cost. These aren't just numbers. These are real people whose lives have been shattered.
Right. And I think it raises a bigger question for all of us.
Yeah.
How do we stay informed about events happening in parts of the world that might feel distant from our daily lives, especially when the information we receive is filtered through these layers of political complexity?
It's a sobering thought.
It is.
The world is interconnected,
Yeah.
And even events that seem far away, they can ripple outwards.
Yeah.
We have a responsibility, I think, to seek out diverse sources.
Yeah.
To remain curious and engaged, even when the initial shock fades from the headlines.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks for taking this deep dive with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Talk to you next time.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.